Alright guys, in today's video I'm going to show you how you can do color isolation in DaVinci Resolve. Let's get into it. So what you want to do is you want to select the clip that you have and you want to go into the color page. Inside the color page, we're going to select our node over here inside our clips. You'll see it on the right side here. And we are then going to go to our RGB mixer. So it's this over here on the right. We're then going to click on monochrome on this particular clip over here. And then we're going to go and we're going to do this. We're going to add a layer node. You can also use Alt L to add a layer node, or you can just right click and add layer node. Then what we're going to do is we're going to go to the qualifier over here and we're going to select the individual color that we would like to isolate. So for this instance, I'm going to use the red in this jacket over here. Going to select that, and you'll see it's done a pretty good job off the bat in terms of isolating the red items on this image in particular. Now that works pretty well as it is. If it's just that effect that you're wanting a single color isolation, then there you go. That's basically it. That's how it's done. We can, though, do some modifications on the clip itself. So you'll see that I can select a certain hue of the red. I can also select different hues in this image as well. But I'm focusing on the red in particular. So we're going to maximize the red selection. And that looks like most of the reds I want to actually capture. Yeah, cool. Then you can also go to the saturation section, so you can make sure that all saturations of the red are captured. Obviously, we can start dipping it down because we can see the roof saturation start to pick up over here on the left. So let's modify that to be only doing the shirt and the other reds that are major focus points for us in this specific clip. You'll notice that if I take the saturation down, it goes away completely. So you want to kind of find the sweet spot for your saturation. And then luminance. So you can also then select the luminance level of the red that you want to focus on. So that looks pretty good. Yes, we'll leave it at that. We've now done our adjustments to that specific clip, and then that's it. If you just want to have an individual color selected, and you've shot a clip that has obviously a predominant color on someone or an image, and you wanna isolate and make important, then that's about it. You can click off now. Or there are some other effects that we can do. So there is a different version of the color isolation. We'll go back into our clip and we'll just duplicate this by using Alt and dragging the clip next to it. Then we're going to go and we're going to go back into the color page. We're going to go and reset all nodes. All right. We can then go into the magic mask tool. So now inside the magic mask tool, we can actually select the shirt in particular, and we can add a alpha out just like that. We can start actually selecting all the pieces of the shirt that we want to include. Then we can track the shirt just like that. And then we can actually go into the timeline and duplicate the clip again. Go back into this here, and we are then going to go to the bottom clip here, and we're going to remove all the adjustments we've done to it. We're then going to select on monochrome on that clip in particular. We're going to go back to this clip and we're then going to redo our tracking. And there you have it. This is more of a isolation of the particular jersey in the image. So it's not necessarily a new isolation. We'll go back into the clip in our timeline. We can actually go and we can then start doing additional stuff. So let's go and make this monochrome. We'll add a layer to this one in particular. Go layer, and then we're going to select only the red in our qualifier. Red, and then we're gonna go and make sure the reds that we want, all the reds we want, are selected. So that looks like all the reds. We'll go and use the highlight, the luminance tool, and we'll go and modify the saturation tool, just like that. Now you'll notice that your whites will be completely white. There won't be any outstanding colors from the white on here. It'll be completely black and white. So that's more an advanced tool. That's obviously using two tools to get a better result. You'll notice that inside of the clip here, I'll just play it, and it's clean. It's very smooth. There aren't any like additional stuff popping through. And if we compare it to other clip here, we've just isolated the jersey. We've actually isolated the red on this jersey. So there's a difference between the two clips. It doesn't pick up anything else in the background. It's just the jersey that's being shown. Then there's a different solution to this. So you can do the exact same thing on this clip here. I'm going to show you how you can do just the magic mask tool on these 4 jerseys. We're going to use this. We're going to go back into our timeline here and we'll duplicate that. We'll then go into our color page. We're then going to select our uh, bottom layer over here. If you want to make sure you can see your bottom layer, guys, you'll need to make sure your timeline is actually enabled. This is the clips. This is the timeline over here. So if you want to see your timeline and the clips that are showing on your timeline, make sure you have that enabled. Otherwise, we won't be able to select it. So we'll go to the bottom layer and we'll do monochrome on this one in particular, and we'll go back to the top layer and then we will start doing our adjustments. So we're going to go into the magic mask tool. We're going to select individual jerseys on this clip itself. We're then going to go add a alpha out and we're going to go connected. And you'll notice that we've actually selected the jerseys perfectly. You'll see that they're lined up quite nicely. There is a bit of red on the windowsill that we're getting a bit of a splash. So we can then go and use the minus qualifier and just obviously remove that in particular. We'll go and we'll track that. And there we go. There is solution 2 or solution 3. You have it. There is your second solution. So you obviously there's a duplication of the clip, and then you're just going to use the magic tool to go and isolate those 3 jerseys. In this clip over where we have here, we're going to do something different as well. We're going to go into Fusion and we're going to do the exact same thing you did inside of the color page. We're going to go and add a magic mask. Add that. And we are then also going to do the same thing. We're going to go better and we're going to select the jerseys of this image in particular. Then you'll see inside here, there's quite a range qualifier that you need to refine. So we'll do that and we'll start tracking. It doesn't do the best of jobs inside Fusion itself. You'll obviously want to make sure you're duplicating the clip. So to make sure that you are using the right clip inside of the Fusion and not having the background removed from both clips. And then obviously you want to make sure if you want to do color isolation in particular on this one, you'll have to go to the color page and select that layer and do monochrome. And then there you have it. Same effect, just different process. It's not as clean as you'll notice over here. The jerseys start to fade a bit, and inside this clip they don't as much. There's a bit on the sleeve here, but you can obviously go into the qualifier tool and just clean it up. On this clip in particular, it happens a bit too much. So I think the best option is to use it in the color page rather than inside of the Fusion page. And there you have it. There are 3 or 4 different ways you can do color isolation and isolating of objects or pieces of objects inside your clips as it is. The first version obviously is in the free version. So this version here is the free version. You can do this in any of your DaVinci Resolve programs. The other options are mainly paid options. So I would, if you're using the free version, then stick to this version over here. If you want to if you want to only focus on the jersey inside the free version, then I would then go and do, and so what you want to do is you want to go to the power windows. You want to select the pen tool and you want to just go zoom in on your image and you want to just make a outline around the image. There we go. And then what we can do is we can go to the tracking window and then we can go and track forwards and backwards of this particular one power window and making sure it's all covered. Let's go back here. And just like that, you'll see that my power window is nice and tight. And there you have it. You've isolated only the jersey with the power window and the color isolation. You'll notice in the background, if you do have your power window activated on this one in particular, you might notice at the end of this clip that there is a bit of the shirt here that's being shown. You can obviously tighten your power window as you go, but that's pretty simple. Yeah, there we go. There are basically 5 techniques you can do when it comes to making your color isolation. Hope you guys found this tutorial helpful and useful. Subscribe, like, and share. Appreciate it. Until again, cheers.